So you've got your dream school in Japan and maybe a few potential supervisors in mind. Check out that video on how to find a supervisor. And now maybe you're working on your research proposal, having chosen a topic. This video up there will guide you as well. But then it hit you, the next big question: how do I even email a professor in Japan? It's not something you just jump into, given cultural differences, how important first impressions actually are in Japan, and of course you worry over the possibility of never getting a response. In today's video, I'll be sharing exactly how to write a winning email to a Japanese professor, the kind that actually gets opened, read, and replied to. And yes, I will include an email template to, you can tweak to fit your own field and your own story. Hey, welcome back to Thrive with Jane, where all things faith and growth speaks. Okay, let's dive in. Before we get to the main deal, I need you to understand a few things. First things first, understand Japanese professors' culture. The tip here is to always assume you are talking to someone important, because you are. Your email, therefore, must sound polite, clear, and purposeful. Keep it short because they are very busy. There is actually a popular notion about Japanese being workaholics, meaning that they are very busy. So please respect their time by keeping things short and simple. Next thing on that is that Japan is big on respect, formality, and humility. Don't be casual. This isn't a "hey professor, what's up" territory. You know what I'm saying? You get? Okay, the other thing you need to understand is that subject line matters. A good subject line will sound something like: a good example, prospective MEXT applicant, request for supervision, in bracket your name. Research inquiry regarding your topic, your name. These are two examples, okay? Avoid things like: hi, please help, I want to come to Japan. Tip here is to be specific and respectful. Okay, let's talk about the email structure. Let's break it down into 6 parts that you must include. The first part is greeting. Dear Professor Sato, for example. Never say hi or hello by itself. Now, if you don't know the gender, don't just use professor last name. There is no need for Dr., Mrs., just straight up professor last name, because these people are not as concerned as we are over titles back in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, from a nursery school teacher to the academia, everyone bears a common title, sensei, which is the Japanese word for a teacher. In other words, you can say Sato sensei, but let's keep it straight up, Professor Sato. The second part of the structure is introducing yourself. You want to do this in 1 or 2 sentences. For example, dear Professor X, my name is John Obiora Ife, a Nigerian with a master's degree in education policy from XYZ University. I am currently applying for MEXT Scholarship and wish to conduct research in your department. Okay, the next part of that structure is about why you are writing. You want to do this in 1 or 2 sentences, something like this: I am very interested in your work, in brackets specific work you're talking about, and I'll be honored to have you as my potential supervisor for my doctoral research. The key here is to mention the professor's actual research, not just I want to study with you. It doesn't make sense, okay? The next part of that is including a summary of your proposal in 1 or 2 or 3 sentences. My proposal explores so topic, particularly focusing on so and so thing. This aligns with your recent publication on so and so thing, okay? You must show that you have read the work, you've done your homework, and that you're not mass emailing everyone. Now, the next part of the structure is the files you're going to attach, okay? In the attachment, I have included my research proposal and CV for your consideration. You have to put everything in the PDF format and name them professionally. For example, johnife.cv. PDF, something like that, so you can see on the screen. Then the last part of the structure is a polite closing, something like, I would greatly appreciate the opportunity to receive your feedback and consider your supervision. Thank you very much for your time and consideration. Best regards, warm regards, John Ife. Now let's talk about the attachments you need. Number 1, your research proposal. 2, your academic CV, be it education, publications, any teaching work, Then optional, your transcript or your certificate if requested, but let's keep that aside, okay? The point here is to keep everything neat. Your file should not be too heavy, maybe 1 MB or less. Let me finally give you what I promised you, which is a template. Okay, at the end of the day, your template should look something like this on the screen. Look at it, very simple and respectful. Okay, you can always pause this part of the video for future references. In any case, guys, however, do not copy that template word for word. Okay, finally, some mistakes you're going to have to avoid before you click the send button. Now, when reaching out to potential supervisors, avoid these common pitfalls. Generic emails, always customize. Copy pasting the same email to everyone isn't good. Personalize each email to show genuine interest, and send from a sensible email address, please, preferably one bearing your full name. For example, Jessica Okoye at example.com, not something like Skibo for life at example.com, please. Okay, you can even create a new email address if you don't have a professional one before. Okay, now the next thing is that make sure that you've done your homework, that you have read their recent work before contacting them. Okay, another thing is that you don't want your emails to be overly long. Keep the message concise and to the point. Another thing is asking a position immediately. Express and inquire about the possibility of supervision rather than directly asking for a position. Okay, never tell them to write a proposal for you. That's a big no. Do not forget to mention your research. Contacting professors that do not match your topic. Do not ever contact professors that do not match your topic. Now, at this point, some of you must be asking, what if they do not reply after doing all of this? Okay, don't panic. These things happen. All you have to do is to wait for roughly 2 weeks and then send a polite follow-up. If still you don't get anything, move on to another professor on your list. You see, some professors only actually accept students once they have applied to the university directly, and that's okay too. Individual differences, I guess. Now, do not stop them by saying, did you get my email? They're not your friends, Remember, rejection is redirection. The right door will still open. Just keep trying, don't give up, okay? Now, finally, look, emailing a professor in Japan or anywhere in the world doesn't have to be scary. Be polite, clear, and be bold. Your dream school is within reach. And this one email could be the first door that opens. Remember, faith without works is dead. So do your part, write that email, and trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. You don't want your email to be too long. Your subject line shouldn't be bad, okay? And you do not copy, paste emails to 10 professors at a time because they can tell. Then avoid grammar errors, informal tone. No, don't use that. Everything has to be professional. Now, how do you fix this? Run your draft through Grammarly or Quillboard. Polish everything online before you click the send button. Now, if this video helped you, comment below. I'm emailing with confidence, okay? And subscribe for more practical guides and scholarship tips. And yes, do not forget to share with a friend who is about to hit the send button too. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.